Hi guys, welcome to FutureTech era. Are you beginner or want to learn RPPath? So first step to learn UiPath is to install the RPA UiPath Studio Community Edition. So guys, today we are going to learn these things, how to download and configure the RPA path in 2024. Okay, so that is the today agenda. Let me go for one by one. We'll go for these things called understand the overall concept, how to install the UiPath Studio. So there are lots of people who are totally new and they are totally beginners, and they have lots of questions like that in mind, that what are the prerequisites for learn for RPA path, and how to install the UiPath extension in different projects. Okay, and what are the addition of the UiPath offers, and what are the components of RPA path. So one by one, everything we'll try to check here. Okay. So first of all, we'll try to understand this things called from where I can download the free software, free RPPath tool. So one by one, we'll try to understand. So first of all, you have to open the particular website uipath.com. You can go for this things called Google and you can open uipath.com. There we are getting the option that is things called sign in. Try to click on this things called sign in. So we'll come on the second page, that is the cloud.uipath.com, and your user ID, and you will get the particular portal home. Okay. So here we are getting the option that is called download studio. We'll try to click on this things called download studio. When you try to click, we'll get the particular file and we'll try to go for save. I have already downloaded the particular UiPath software. So let me open, and here we are getting this things called file size, that is the 1.0.2 GB. Okay. So here previous, if you ask me in 2017 and 18, that size was less than 100 MB. Okay, but right now we're getting this things called 1.02 GB, and we'll try to install. Okay, we'll try to go for this things called right click and go for this things called open. So here previous also I've created this things called video, especially for this things called how to install the RPA path in 2022. 2 years back I've created this things called video for your help. And today in 2024, I'm trying to install the UiPath Studio. Okay. So meanwhile, I'll try to reply your all the question like that. What is the prerequisite for RPA path? What is the system configuration required for RPA path? We'll try to understand here. So what you have to go for that? Let me go for this things called, click on this things called recommendation for community edition. So when you try to install this things called UiPath, we'll get this things called window. And here what you have to go for that. So by default, I'm going for this things called quick recommendation for community users. Here we are going for this things called, click on this things called I accept. And here you have to click on this things called install button. Okay. So guys, right now you can see here, we are getting this things called please wait while the products install. Okay. So hardly it will take 30 seconds to 1 minute time to install all the package and all these things. And here you'll see right now, it will start the progress of the installation. Okay. So let me understand this question right now. We'll try to understand the question, whatever. So right now we're getting this things called computing the space requirements. It's going to check your all the system requirements. Okay. Let me come here, guys. So we are getting this question, whatever the prerequisite for RPA path. Okay. So if you go for this things called Google, let me go for this things called software requirements for RPA path. Okay. If you're totally beginners and new, and if you want to install the software of RPA path in your system, you have to go for this things called check on the Google on we are getting from this things called UiPath with official website. And here it's saying this things called CPU, try to install at least 64-bit operating system. If you have a 32-bit operating system, try to format the system and go for 64-bit operating system. That is the best for UiPath. For last 7 to 8 years, I'm using the 64-bit operating system. Talking about this things called RAM. RAM, if you have a 4 GB of RAM, you can definitely use the UiPath. It will work perfect. But my recommendation, at least to go for 8 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM for UiPath. Okay. And this is space right now, you can see here 3.5 GB for new installation and 5 GB for upgrade. Okay. So in every system, we have a 5 to 10 GB. That is fine. So this type of hardware requirements for your RPA path. Okay. And talking about this things called operating system, if you have a 7, 8, 9, 10, and if you have a Windows 11, that is perfect, but my recommendation is to go for latest operating system, that is the Windows 11. Okay, so try to go for this particular configuration for your RP UiPath. So right now you can see here it's already started the installation. We are getting these things called updating component registration. Let me check here one by one. Okay, let me go for these things called second question. How to install the UiPath extension in different browser. Please try to understand these things. Previous, if you go for 2016 to 2022, first after installation of UiPath, one by one we have to go for all the browsers like that Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Edge, and Internet Explorer, and you have to install the UiPath extension into that particular browsers. But right now, if you're going to install UiPath in 2024, UiPath is going to install all the extension by default. Okay, so you don't have to worry about these things called extension for the UiPath. Okay, so automatically I'll try to show you within 1 minute like how to install the extension. Okay, and let me come to this things called third question. What are the editions UiPath offer? That is very good question. Please understand these things. Okay, so we have two types of edition. The first one is community edition and second one is enterprise edition. So community edition, that is totally free for students and developers who are they are totally new. So you can use up to 3 months free of cost, and after that you have to go for renew. So I will definitely help you for your renew your software. And talking about this things called second, that is called enterprise edition. So enterprise edition means that is totally commercial. You have to pay for these things called 1 year, and there you can use these things called. So especially client, they pay for the your enterprise edition, and that will also I'll try to help you for your installation. So right now, if you come to this particular place, we are getting these things called, if you want to continue installing the UiPath extension for Chrome, please close your all Chrome process, then click OK. So please try to understand, if you want to install the extension in different browsers like the Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, and your Edge, try to close all the browsers and then try to click on this things called OK button. So let me go for this things called close all the browsers, and let me go for this things called Edge also. Okay, and I'll try to click on this things called OK button. So it will install, and Chrome browsers are still running. Do you want to force close? Yes, I'll try to go for. So right now it's going to install the extension. We are getting this things called configure UiPath extension. And right now I'm getting this things called message, that is completed the UiPath setup. We are getting this things called jump to start your automation journey by capturing and documents known tasks to get a comprehensive picture of what needs to automate, get ahead and get started with assisted task mining. Okay, so here we've installed this things called UiPath, and that is the 2024 latest version. And here I'm getting the option that is called launch UiPath Studio. Click on this things called launch UiPath Studio. So you can see right now we are getting this things called 2024.2.1. That is the latest version. And here I'm getting the option that is things called sign in. Okay. So what we'll do right now, we'll try to click on this things called sign in button. Click on this things called sign in button. So right now it will ask for your credential, that is your like that your email ID. You have to provide your email ID and you have to select your particular things. Here I'm getting these things called create organization. Please understand. So if you're totally new, you have to click on this things called create organization and you have to pass some details. So right now it's asking for this things called display name. I'm going to pass this things called maybe you can see right now Naveen, and here I'm going to pass this things called country, that is India. Select your region. I'm going to pass this things called Pune, Maharashtra. Okay. So right now it's asking these things called cloud organization name. Suppose that your name is company name is suppose that HCL. So whatever your company name, you can pass your company name. Click on this things called create organization. So right now it's asking for these things called please wait while we set up your cloud organization. So let me wait for these things called 30 seconds, and right now let me go for that. So right now I'm getting these things called allow your particular things, and here I'm going for these things called click on open links. So right now I'm getting this things called option that is called UiPath Studio. Click on this things called UiPath Studio. So I'll select your UiPath Studio and I'll try to install the software. So right now you can see here right now UiPath Studio is already installed, and right now I'm getting these things here. I'm getting the option that is don't show again. I'll try to click on this thing so do not show again, and click on this things called close button. So let's go for this things call, and here I'm getting the option that is called start your journey here. Build your first automation with our help and get familiar with Studio. Click on this things called start. I will avoid. I will click on this things called cross sign, and we'll try to install. We'll try to start your process. Okay. So if you're totally beginners and if you're totally new, if you try to start your project, try to click on this things called process. I will start with this process part and we'll understand that. Okay. So here I'm getting the things called select with blank project to design new automation process. I'll try to click on this things called this place, and here I will go for this things called name. Please understand this part. Name whatever the project name you want to provide. Suppose I want to provide this things called basic program. Okay, suppose that I'm going to pass this things called April basic program. Whatever you want, you can provide here. Click on this things called create. Okay. So whatever by default you are getting, you can pass there and try to go for these things called click on create. And here I'm getting this things called creating the workspace. And we are going to create the particular workspace. What do you mean by workspace? Workspace means that is the program, that is the workflow. Okay, so that is called workspace here. And here I'm getting these things called adding the dependency, means whatever the activity you want. So by default, UiPath create more than 4 to 5 dependency. That is UiPath is creating here. And right now I'm getting this things called main.xml file. XML file is the extension of UiPath. Right now UiPath is going to open the opening main.xml. So whenever you start, by default, we'll get these things called before you automate. Let me show you around. And here I'm getting these things called quick tour. So they provide these things called to understand all the panels. Let me go for these things called skip this step. Let me click here and we'll try to understand here one by one. So whenever you come to particular your path studio, this is your particular dashboard. Right now we're getting these things called on top. That is called home, design, and debug. That is the three interface right now you can understand here. So first one is your particular home. Home is especially for creating the project and whatever the project you have already. If you want to open, you can go for open and you can try to search your particular folder, whatever you want to open, and you can click on this things called open button. And apart from that, there are lots of things like that settings, like that your language more than nine type of language UiPath support. Theme you can select as a light and dark, and you can go for that. Okay, so there are lots of settings they provided especially into your home, and after that we will design. So right now we'll try to start one bot. We'll try to create one bot where bot will display like that. Any message box will display. Try to go for display any message box using UiPath. So first of all, what you have to go for that, we are getting these things called project option, and here I'm getting these things called main.xml file. So that is my first program, and we have already launched these things called main.xml file. So guys, we'll try to create one particular program that is especially for displaying some data into message box. So what I will do, I'll try to go for this things called activity, and in activity, I'll try to search this things called message box. Okay, we'll try to search this things called message box. I'll drag and drop the particular message box into workflow designer panel, and here I'll try to pass this things called. So like it will go for this things called we are learning RPA UiPath. Okay, so this is the way we can go for pass data. We'll go for this thing called save, and we can run the particular program. We can go for run file. So it will display we are learning RPA UiPath pod. Okay, so this is the way, guys, we can install the RPA path software in your Windows system, and we can create the first program also like this way. And we are going to display some data on the console right now. It will come like this way. Okay, so this is the way, guys, we can go for launch the bot. If you want to close this particular UiPath software, you can click on close. And if you want to launch again from window, we can search UiPath software and we'll get this things called UiPath Studio. Like this way, we can open again. Okay, we can launch again. So right now we'll come to this things called agenda, and here I'm getting this things called how to install UiPath extension in different projects. Please understand. So after installing these things called UiPath Studio, automatically UiPath has installed all the extension. We'll try to check here the extension also. Please understand. We'll check only Google Chrome right now. So here, if you go for this things called extension, let me go for this things called extension, and we'll try to enable lots of extension also. So here I'm getting this things called automation anywhere. We are getting this things called UiPath also. Here I'm getting this things called details. Try to enable all the radio button. We are getting this things called allow in quality window. We'll try to enable all the radio button here. So whenever you try to install, try to automate, automatically it will work perfect. Okay. So we have installed the extension also UiPath into Google Chrome and different project also. Like this way, we can install the extension. So coming to these things called third question, like that, what are the addition we have discussed? What are the components of RPA? But please understand these things. That is very, very important question. Please understand. So first component is that is called UiPath Studio. That is 90% case you have to work on these things called Studio. The second component right now that is called UiPath Assistant. Previous name was UiPath Robot. Right now we are getting these things as a UiPath Assistant. If you want to open, you can click on this things called UiPath Assistant, and you can open from this things called taskbar also. We'll get these things called UiPath Assistant. We are getting these things called UiPath Assistant. Right now we'll try to go for connect using Orchestrator also. We are getting these things called status connected license and EDR protection not detected. Okay, so here I'm getting these things called, it's showing these things called it's already connected, and that is the second component of UiPath. That name is called UiPath Assistant. Okay, and third component that is called UiPath Orchestrator. I think you've heard also. So if you want to open this things called UiPath Orchestrator, you have to click on this things called this button, and you can click on this things called Orchestrator. So it will open like this way, and that is the dashboard of the UiPath Orchestrator. That is especially for deployment your all the project on this things cloud. So the UiPath Orchestrator, that is like that one cloud infrastructure where we can deploy all the projects on the cloud system. Okay, so orchestrator video, lots of things I've already created. We'll discuss in that particular video. Here, that is the dashboard. You can see right now process asset, queue, trigger, viewers. Okay, so here that is the dashboard of orchestrator. So right now we have only three components of UiPath, that is Studio, Assistant, and UiPath Orchestrator. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you.